Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris.
So I always ask everyone this question on this talks is, what's your views on the BBL, man? What's things you think are working and things you think they could improve on?
Oh man, well, to be honest, I think BBL could use somebody with a vision, somebody who could point basketball here in England in the right direction. Forget what's working and what's not, because the people that
I think I know someone.
Talk like, for what like, I don't know. I don't want to sound like I'm holding people accountable, but much of like the league's sort of like leadership, in terms of like, we're looking like sponsorship deals, we're looking at investments, we're looking at what can be done to grow the field, how to grow the game and stuff like that. I don't think there's nobody that's in the office that has that vision in mind. And people who are working in the office have no clue what they're doing. So if that doesn't improve, then the league doesn't improve. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I do agree with you on that. I've always said this as well for all my shows. The marketing is one of the key issues with the professional league anyway, especially. I just feel like when I ask some people about professional basketball in this country, they don't even know that there is a professional league. They don't know. Like, you know what I mean? It's mind-boggling. It's like,
man, if they don't have the vision, if they don't see somebody, who's in this sport, like who's not in the sport, but who has this vision about this sport, then nobody else is gonna buy into it. Because if they don't see somebody,
no, they don't see it, man. I've seen it from a mile off. I know what they can do, and I think with what you lot do in Bristol, you lot do a fantastic job of as a team, your marketing, how the people support you guys, your fans is amazing, and I think a lot of them adapted to that. What you do around the league and with BBL, I reckon it can go a lot further than what it is. Right?
Sounds to me like BBL needs to be taking some notes from Bristol Flyers.
Serious, man. I reckon it do, man. Like it's mad. I've always said as well. The marketing is just like, this is what's making me motivate me doing this, man. Because I just thought people need to know players, because they don't even know the players. That's one of the main things. Like, let's put these players on a pedestal and let's let the world see who they are. You know what I mean? Let the country at least know who they are. You know what I mean? This guy, he plays for Bristol, he plays for London Lions, he plays for the Eagles,
Yeah. Also too, marketing the clubs a bit more effectively, because, of course, people buy into the clubs and they're buying everything else that the club supplies. So you take, for example, like what Bristol's really good at doing is they're good with like engagement and fans. They're good with like some of the content that they're good with. They're good with like marketing, the games every week, interviews, stuff like that. That's just from a marketing point of view. From a business point of view, it's something completely else. You know what I mean? There's other clubs around the country like Newcastle or Leicester, Worcester, who all have like sponsorship deals and stuff. But I think one thing I definitely would say, what should be great is if the BBL gets a hotel sponsorship deal, for like
that would be good, That would be good.
Day off, man, to go play a game.
And you got somewhere to stay afterwards. Know what I mean? That would work.
Or even beforehand, like when I was playing, I know like money is completely different, but when I was playing in America, like we'll leave the night before or the day before, sleep night, and then play the next day, and then we'll leave right after. Okay, that's a completely different ball game. But
I know you mean the traveling arrangements.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah, travel the day before and then play.
Yeah, like we travel. Like we're not the only club, but to be on the bus for 8 hours, right? if you're like Plymouth or something like that, you're there a bit longer. But to be on the phone and then to play a game probably for about an hour and a half, maybe maximum 2 hours, only to then travel 8 hours back. Oh man, that's brutal, man.
Yeah.
Especially they changed it. Flyers have changed it. They're like for this season, but we didn't play them up in Newcastle. So, but still though. Like before then, man, we had to travel 8 hours up, play a game, and then travel 8 hours back. So we'll leave at like...
Is that Newcastle, yeah?
Yeah, like we'll leave at like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning, play a 7:30 game, and then come back 4 o'clock in the morning. Like
ridiculous, man. You need to make that. That's what I mean. You need to let players rest, man. At least, yeah, like you said, get there the night before at least, so you're rest and chilled, and then travel. Like travel back after the game, not to the game, and then play and then come back. That does take a toll on your body, man. It's draining, man.
It does, man, and that's something that I feel like that's something that the BBL could be doing. It's finding those like sponsorship deals. I mean, like it's one of those ones where it's kind of like, well, what is the BBL doing, and what are they trying to market? Like, it's just funny how things are, in terms of growth. Because I've heard all sorts of talks about how much each club is paying to play in the BBL or to compete in the BBL. You just think like doesn't sound. I mean, if you multiply it by like 10, it actually sounds like a lot of cash. But then again, it's just what are they doing? So
I always find out. It always bothers me what that is there. They know that they can do it. It's like you said. This bothers me. Like who's in there that's trying to actually. I don't think they have a balance. Like, yeah, if you got someone business minded, like I think me and Tyler were talking about this the other day, where we said it's all have someone who's business minded, but have them working with someone who is also a basketball mind.
Yeah,
got them working together, and they can help elevate the sport. You know what I mean? This is as well as someone to get a businessman in there. He fills his pockets and he's like, all right, I'm out now. It's like, so what about the sport? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
there's under the table shady business going on. They just don't want to put it out on the table.
I believe that, man. I do strongly believe that, man. Definitely. Oh, it's just
Just growing the sport, like there's so much work that needs to be done. That's the crazy thing. I mean, like you're not just talking about marketing and stuff like that. You're also talking about improving the arenas in the state and the places where games are being played. Like in Plymouth is an alright place, but the thing is, like they have this tarmac, and underneath that tarmac, like the tarmac is this thin, right, and underneath concrete.
Wow.
I hate playing on concrete. I'm not a concrete guy.
I think what will help BBL teams as well if they have their own facilities, because a lot of them are using other facilities. If you have your own facilities where you lot can say, you know what, I also want to work on my game a little quick in this, and you can go to the gym and just use the gym anytime you want. I think that would be. That's
definitely an area that can be improved on. Flyers are working on. Well, the thing is, like with Flyers, like we're lucky enough to have slots at the college that we practice and we play at, and so in the morning we usually shoot Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, maybe sometimes Thursday.
Yeah.
They have no courses. Well, sometimes they have no courses going on. They have no courses or anything going on during the time we're there. But some days it's like, let's say we start at 10:30 and there's a course or there's like a class coming in at 11. We'll have to move over to one side of the court.
Oh, damn. So I mean, that's a little thing like that. You shouldn't be able to move. That should be yours. Like, damn. No, but fair enough though. It's a college, but yeah, you have your own facilities that can avoid all of that. It's yours.
100%. Like I'm not complaining, but it's kind of because I know like it could be it could be far much more worse than some of the other places I've heard of in England, let alone in terms of training facility wise and stuff. So
I'm not saying no names, but there's some teams out there. It's like, oh damn, man, shit. You know what I mean?
It's worse, man. So
getting it real bad.
I reckon there's some BBL team, right, or some team in England that's training outside on concrete.
in the park. They've gone to one of them.
The local park, the rims.
Yeah. It's got no net and nothing. No chains and that. Like, whoa, man. Is this where we're training?
Oh, man. Well, they got the football post underneath, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. That's where they're training right now. Some teams are, yeah, yo, what's going on, man? Then you have to talk to the kids. Yo, can you come to the court? Yo, come off, man, with the training quick. Like, flip, no, man.
Man.
Unprofessional. By the way, if it logs us out, just we'll log back in. If it logs us out, by the way, just to let you know.
Yeah, no worries, man. You play sports yourself?
I did play basketball a while back. I'm more on the other side now. Like, I'll do a lot more of this stuff, and also I help my brother's summer league, the Pro Classic in London. So that's a summer league, really great summer league, where it's given a platform for it's a platform for ballers in the UK to hone their skills. So it's like a showcase kind of thing, if you know what I mean. So any coaches, we kind of encourage coaches to come down to see players that they think that could help their teams. So it's happened a few times where some coaches have come down and took players to D1, took some players to professional. So the Pro Classic is really good.
Where is the Pro Classic held in London?
Brixton, usually.
Is that the one? So is that the one that's played at midnight, or what's the one that's played at midnight?
There's Midnight Madness. That's a different one.
Oh, okay.
The Pro Classic is in that same field, but they completely run different to Midnight Madness. So
when is it? Like, what time of the year is it held?
Pro Classic is usually in the summertime.
Okay, what, like July, August?
Usually around June, end of June-ish, but right, obviously with what's going on now, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's no telling.
You know, but it's been going on for like 7 years now, Pro Classic. So they get so it's good, man. Like, you get some players who's played in the Pro Classic. Teo's played in the Pro Classic. Teddy Okafor's played in the Pro Classic. We've had Ryan Martin played in. Matthew Bryan's played in it. Justin's played in it. So there's some. Yeah, Justin Robinson's played in it. Some big names have played in it. Orland's played in it.
Okay. Is it competitive?
Pardon?
Is it competitive?
Yeah. Jesse's played in it. You know Jesse Chuku?
Yeah.
Yeah. They go after it, man. It's great, man. It's great, man. So there's guys who coming in trying to win. The guys that's coming trying to win, man. So it's great, man.
You know what? Speaking of that, is there any sort of basketball that goes on after school's done for kids who do actually generally want to play basketball and try to pursue it further?
Well, in the schools, you mean?
No, outside of school. So, you ever heard of AAU in America?
AAU, I've heard of AAU, yeah.
Yeah, so AAU in America, basically after school's done, or at some point towards when school's about to finish,
yeah.
I don't know where to get the funding from. Probably collegiate sports, NCAA.
Yeah. Oh.
Basically, what happens is that from May to about, let's say, August or so, there's competitions that are held in high schools, colleges.
Okay.
This is all throughout the country. There's some like big tournament names and stuff where a lot of like college coaches come out and come look at some of the kids who are playing basketball and seeing like what scholarship that they want, what kid they want to take or give a scholarship to for them to come play on the team and stuff like that. And so, which is it's quite interesting because everybody's competing for scholarship. There's only
always.
There's always, it's like 400 and something Division I schools, and there's only maybe 12 scholarships for each school. And you gotta think, okay, but then if you have like 15 to 40, 50 universities with teams who are all trying to play for some of these scholarships, it makes it like highly competitive. So, it's kind of like one of those things. But what I'm trying to ask is there anything like that goes on here where if you have like some sort of national under 14 to 16, 17 age, right here, all here in the UK, if there's like tournaments that go on throughout England where, let's say if I have a team here in Bristol and I want to take them to a basketball tournament in Birmingham, and there's teams from like Newcastle or Scotland or Not just all come and play like you know what I mean, and make it competitive. And there's also something to play for. I'm asking is that if there's anything like that out here.
If there is, I wouldn't know. There probably is, but I don't think there is. I've never heard of anything like that. But no one in this country is very good at not. It's very good at not marketing it very well. So if there is something like that, you know what I mean. So most of the time, what I've seen here, it's like you get the season. Everyone plays for the season. Some National League, professional, whatever it is, and then summertime is like, all right, that's when everything happens. All these little summer leagues, and then after that, it's back to basketball. So there's nothing like what you're saying. I haven't seen anything like that as of yet. Which sounds like a good idea, which they should do. Yeah, I reckon it would uplift the sport a bit more in the country.
I reckon a lot of it is just pathway, the sport pathway that just needs to be invested in from all the way from, you're talking about GB through England through professional or national level or whatever, and then you're talking about like division wise into schools, into communities. Like it's you're talking about like up and down. You know, it has to be like there has to be some sort of flow chart. You know, because if you start and you run into this wall and it's like, well, dang, you're gonna be scratching your head thinking, do I keep going or do I go a different way? You know what I mean? So
yeah.
It's quite interesting to hear that basketball in England is actually what is it like top 3 sports being played?
Yeah, it's top. I think it's top 2 most participated.
Most participating. You're telling me you can make it competitive enough to where you can invest into it and you can create a team that maybe 40, 50 years later on down the line could play against the United States of America. I'm just thinking big, but I'm playing like national competitions. You know?
They could. I think that's what baffles me a lot. It confuses me as well. Like I could understand if it was like, say it was top 10 most participated sport. It was like the 10th or 11th or 12th. Okay, I get why they're not investing because it's not popular, but it's second most participated sport in the country. So how can something that's so participated not get that recognition? Just even on a school level, even just down on a lower level, not even national or professional. Just why is it not recognized more?
That's the $1 million question that we're trying to figure out in today's time.
It is, man. It's like it baffles me, man. So so you know what I mean. It's just a lot of things I just think they're not doing that they could be doing. So but now you got a lot of people recognizing this. So you got like a lot of these like BBL Fix is good. He does a lot of broadcasting and putting a lot of information about BBL itself. Got Hooper's Voice is really good. Another basketball outlet. Got a lot of news about basketball in this country a lot. And Baller's Voice is another one.
Baller's Voice, yeah.
Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris. Everything Chris.